A large number of you on our IONIC FLUX Facebook page have been following an 8-day experiment that we've been conducting over the last week. What we did was we took a whole bunch of bearings and put them together inside of a jar full of mud, water, and salt to help speed up a corrosion process for this experiment we're running. The whole point of this experiment is to try and take these 4 bearings here, we already finished restoring the other 2, and we will clean them and then lube them up with a bottle of our IONIC FLUX Black Steel. These bearings are all currently very corroded. They're all seized completely. And most cases, skaters are going to go out and buy a new set of bearings. Doesn't matter how you look at it. But these are actually really bad shape. And so if we can clean these and bring these back to life, you can skate on them again and save yourself, a bunch of money. And the great part about one bottle of this stuff is you could do it for multiple sets of bearings. These bearings don't become unseized immediately after you apply the skate lube, but after about 10 minutes or so, plus some riding, you'll begin to notice a serious difference from a seized bearing to a completely functional working bearing. So let's give this a try. First off, what we'll need to do is we'll need to take this jar here and some white spirit. Throw it into the jar. Fill her up about halfway or so. Take our 4 rusty bearings, drop them in 1 by 1, 3, 4. Shake them up a little bit, get them spread out inside. And then our next step is to utilize this machine here. It's called an ultrasonic cleaner. We'll throw them in the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll turn it on to 10 minutes. Okay, now that the bearings have finished cleaning for the last 10 minutes, this is what it looks like after the process is complete. This is quite a messy job, so we'll pull the bearings out one by one. Once they come out of the solution, you can test them to see if they've broken loose at all. And these particular ones have not come loose yet. Get a more close-up view of what they still look like. They're still a little dirty looking. There's a lot of discoloration on the outside surfaces and also on the bearing balls, which still contain rust. So after you get them basically dried off a little bit from the cleaning solution, you then want to go ahead and dry them. You can use your girlfriend's air dryer. So after you're done with the drying process, it's time to lube them, and we're going to be using our Skate Lube IONIC FLUX Black Steel. This is designed for steel bearings. There's 2 unique pieces of technology in this lubricant. The first one is specially synthesized molecules that bond to the surface of steel. What these molecules do is they'll create a polarized layer on the surface of the inside of the bearings and the bearing balls and the inner and outer raceway. What these molecules do not react to each other, they actually repel each other after they form their protective coating. So when they're repelling each other, this actually creates a detraction between the steel moving parts, and that improves the flow of lubricant between the bearing balls and the internal raceways. In addition to that, we add a specialized nanoparticle that, in essence, due to its circular shape, when you put it inside of the bearing itself and the bearing is put under pressure, it reduces rolling friction. And it's kind of like a bunch of miniature bearings for your one big bearing. But this has not only that purpose, it allows you to polish away internal surface deformities inside of the bearings, especially if they've been subjected to water damage, corrosion, and in this case, serious rust. So what we'll do is, in order to restore these bearings, we'll use 4 to 6 drops of ionic flux. We have to shake this up to get all the nanoparticles moving around. And we put 4 to 6 drops in each one. In this case, I'll use 5. Normally, if you're just lubricating your bearings for any regular purpose and you're using this product, you only need 2 to 3 drops. Okay, so what we'll do after this is just let them sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll put the shields on and then pop them in our wheels and see how it goes. After they've had a little bit of a chance to soak in, this is essentially what they look like. If we can get a good close-up. You can see there's still some rust on the inside here, and the way we plan to remove that is by simply skating on the bearings to help loosen them up and then get the lubrication flowing on the inside. So now let's go ahead and pop on the shields and put them in our wheels. So we're using 2 different sets of wheels, so that way these ones are ceramic wheels, just so I know I'm not cheating on this video. And these are the worn wheels. The wheel spins, but the real problem is it's actually just spinning stationary on the bearing itself. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to put weight on it and go out and try it, and then come back and see if it's functioning correctly. This bearing is spinning by itself a little bit, but probably only on one side. So let's go skate for 10 minutes and give it a shot and see what happens. It's an ice cold fall day in Estonia. So let's give these busted up wheels a roll for the money. There's quite a lot of resistance on it, as you can see. That's it. 3-minute ride. Back to life. That's nanotechnology, baby. Hell yeah. Let's take a closer look. Okay, we just came back in from skating. These are the 2 orange wheels with the corroded bearings, and there's the other side with the red wheels. So let's just see if these bad boys have loosened up or not. So that's one wheel, and the other wheel. They're a little bit noisy, but the point is they function. And we have, in fact, unseized these bearings completely to allow you to skate on them again, and literally brought them back to life. And they spin pretty good. You know, that's our skate lube. So if you want to restore your bearings, I have to say that you can very well do so with ionic flux. while at the same time, if you just need a good lube overall for your regular bearings, you can extend your current life of the bearings you use on a daily basis just by using some IONIC FLUX Black Steel. So, €8 bearings save you a case of beer. That's the way to go. So for the sake of keeping this video short, I've taken out the bearings to take a good look at the inside. Some of the stuff you'll notice is that they're actually, even though the surface of the balls are actually kind of hazy, you can also see quite closely, if I can get enough light, that there's a large amount of rust that is caught in the retainer. This rust actually is what the nanoparticles have removed from the surface of the inside raceways, as well as off of the surface of the balls from when you were skating. So one thing that will be very interesting is to see how much of that rust will actually come out if we were to clean it again just by putting the bearings in some white spirit. To clarify that these bearings have just to clarify that that's rust in here. We'll put the bearings in a jar of all the rust that has come off and add some white spirit to it and give it a little good shake. It should turn kind of this brown murky color to clarify the healing process. And so it has. That's all the dust, that's all the rust particles that had come off the surface of the bearings. These have already been cleaned, lubed, and ridden on. And so now they're completely back to normal shape. Now you can see the retainers. Cool stuff. Mission accomplished.